And so you attended my church service for the first time a couple of Sundays ago now.
Yeah.
What was your impression of it?
I didn't hear you talk about really too much what I would say churchy stuff.
Yeah.
It was, you were just connecting with people and hearing their stories and trying to give them some feedback.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Were you expecting maybe to be quoting from the Bible and
a little
praising
bit,
the Lord?
A little bit. I've seen some of your shows where you have like a Bible there.
Right.
And
sometimes I bring it when I feel like carrying it, but sometimes I don't.
yeah. I mean, I agree with almost everything you say. That's why I'm like, man, am I a Christian? And Beau's like one of my best friends, and we've been talking about our beliefs for as long as I've known him now, for 20 years.
We have a lot of debates together, a lot of tough discussions. It's good. It's good.
And, you know, I'm open-minded. I was raised as an atheist. You know, my mother raised us secular. You know, we don't celebrate Christmas, you know, kind of, you know, lifestyle. So.
You didn't have an easy childhood.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, tell me about what was it like growing up for you, Jeff?
It wasn't bad. There was no abuse. Nobody hit me. Nobody touched me. You know, nothing like that. Right. I had, Beau just touched me. I had 2 brothers. I'm the middle brother. So we were all within 2 years of each other. A lot of fighting, a lot of wrestling, hence the Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in a way, I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful I grew up with 2 brothers that I kind of got to roughhouse with and wrestle around with.
Absolutely.
You know, it kind of toughened all 3 of us up a little bit. My parents split up when I was 7. And then got back together when I was like 19.
They remarried?
Did
they divorce or
they
they
never married in
separated?
the first place.
Oh, they never married?
No. My older brother is my half brother. And then my younger brother and I are from my dad.
All right.
So, yeah, it's a mixed up family.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
And so you were 6 years old when your father left.
We were about 7 or 8.
What was it like for you personally when he left?
That was the first big thing I remember being mad about in my life and holding resentment and a grudge towards my mother and my father.
Yeah.
You know, I have such strong problems in that area. When I hear you talk about that, it always like, oh, me and Beau are always like, oh man, you know, you need to like let go of your anger. And I just have the hardest time with it. I'm so resentful.
It's one of the easiest things, it is the easiest thing to overcome. You would never experience anything else as easy as it is to overcome anger.
I mean, I hear you say that. I've watched a lot of your shows, and I try so hard.
We both are just like, wow, it's hard.
It's hard, you know.
It's hard. Why do you think it's hard, Beau?
Because of what's happened and the memories I have. Like, we both had dysfunctional families.
What was it like for you?
I did get hit, and there was screaming and yelling. The first time I remember, like, when you box, you know what it's like to get rocked. Like, you get hit and you're just like, okay.
Right.
You know, you're lightheaded and you're just, everything kind of feels fuzzy for a second. I remember getting rocked when I was about 10 years old by my dad. And there was constant hitting across the face. And I think when you hit a little kid across the face quite a bit, it changes your mind, it changes your chemistry.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of screaming and yelling and some other things that I have memories of possibly. It was just a chaos ride. My parents divorced when I was 3, and both remarried, had other kids, and my older brother and I were the only siblings from the same mom and dad. We were just kind of the leftover kids.
Amazing.
So there's a lot of anger there from, you know, my mom and my dad, because they're both very manipulative, very just really. They don't want to have anything to do with like God or making correct decisions for their own lives, or just going, you know what, I need to live a good life for my kids. I need to live a good life for me. There's nothing like that. It was that post World War II, like baby boomer generation, like just the kind of me generation, I think. I don't know.
So is it true that you call your father a rageaholic?
He was a rageaholic. He still is. He's 80 years old, and he won't show it now. But I know if I asked him a couple questions, you know, it'll come right back.
Are you afraid of him?
Not anymore, but I just feel sorry for him now more so than the anger.
And why? Why do you feel sorry for him?
Because he had 2 pretty amazing sons that he wanted nothing to do with. Yeah. And it used to really just make me crazy, and I was so angry because they left us. You abandon a kid, it causes all kinds of emotional problems, and I've had emotional problems most of my life.
Amazing.
And in the last 2 years, God's just kind of settled the wounds down. Some things happened and came into play that have really settled God's just like, I got you, you know, and just some circumstances happen that have made things more livable, and it's settled me down. But it's just the, what did you ask me again? I'm sorry.
Why do you feel sorry for him?
Oh, because he's 80 years old and he doesn't want to like stop doing the things he's doing. He's like, I'm trying to change and be the person that I feel like my father in heaven would want me to be. And there's no conscious effort for that from my father or my mom. It's just, they're just people that are, I guess, children of the lie. So instead of being angry about it, I'm changing to just like, well, I've got to figure something else out. Anger's not working.
So is it true your mother used a horse whip on you as a kid?
Yep.
What does that mean? What's a horse whip? The kind of you ride the horse whip?
Well,
the leather strap.
My mom remarried to my stepdad. He was a doctor, very wealthy man, and he was actually really cool with me. He was a Canadian, joined the American military, served as a doctor in Vietnam, and came back. And my mom divorced my dad and married him, had a couple kids, and his daughter had a horse, a pony, and Allie got all the pony riding lessons, and every day I came home from school, I had to clean the pony poop. That was my job, because I came from the Italian guy, you know, got to get the wop out there and scrape up the poop. Sorry, I'm a wop, so I could say that. Well, one day, mean? Without papers, that's an illegal immigration thing for the Italians. So, so one day I came home from school, I didn't do my homework assignment, I think, and she had gotten off the phone with my teacher because I wasn't doing well in school. I had just moved in with my mom in 7th grade from my dad's house. And she picked up the horsewhip and she goes, "Get in your room." And I thought it was just going to be another.
Right.
She went crazy. She lost her mind and raged on me. I'd never seen anything like. I still haven't seen anything like it. And her eyes were rolling back in her head. She was screaming and just beating me. And a couple days later, I saw the black and blue marks across my backside. And we had gone to a counseling session after that with the family. If I would have shown the counselor my marks, they would have taken me away right there.
Really?
It was insane.
Why did she hate you so much?
I didn't know my mother had violent anger issues until I moved in with her in 7th grade.
That's why your father left.
And they were both rageaholics.
Yeah.
They're both very angry people, and they just
And so why did she hate you so much?
I think because I looked like my father the most.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you look like him?
I look like.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're always right about that. Like we notice that when you're like, you'll talk about somebody's mom and they'll be like, "No, I don't have those feelings toward my mom." Then you're like, "Yeah, I do."
You look like your dad.
But I was the one that looked like my dad the most,
yeah.
and I resembled him the most, and so I was the one that was punished. And I was also the weakest. I was the younger brother, and she had 2 more kids, and I was used as the maternal for them. I took care of my little brother and sister, changed their diapers, fed them, and my mom just would do her own thing, and they would argue and fight, and I was taking care of them, and I was also the one that was hit. It sounds like a Cinderella, poor me story, but it's true. It happened.
Not to me, it's all real. I totally understand.
It's real, and it messed me up bad.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I'm still here.
Did you ever ask? You still what?
I'm still here, and I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah. Did you ever ask her why did she hate you so much that she would treat you that way? As an adult, have you asked?
She came back into my life last year for a brief moment. I'm a disabled veteran. 3 years ago, I received my disability from the VA, and it saved my life. I never asked anybody for a dime. I've always struggled and gone job to job. VA.
He asked me to buy you lunch today, just saying.
Well, that's because I'm part Jewish. So anyway, my mom's a Jew, so I can make the jokes.
Your mother's a Jew?
Yeah, she converted to Judaism.
Really?
So yeah, her 3rd husband was a rabbi, no joke.
Wow.
Anyways.
She's reaching for salvation.
Oh yeah, yeah. So she came back into my life, I think, and I don't know, maybe because she heard I was financially stable and I was looking for a home with my VA home loan. So she came back into my life last year and was all nicey. And I said, "Mom, do you remember hitting me with a horsewhip? Do you remember the times you would lose your mind on me?" "No, I don't remember." "Oh, I'm so sorry I did that." But she would literally say she had no memory of it. And I was like, something didn't, you know. And so a couple things happened, and I just decided, "Mom, I don't think I should be talking to you anymore. You still are doing the same things." She likes to lie, and she has a very victim mentality, you know.
Amazing.
And so I don't want to be angry at her, but I just can't really have it in my life.
Do you want to overcome the anger?
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you how in a minute. Jeff, your father had been a meth addict or something like that?
He's been a drug addict as long as I can remember, yeah.
All of your life?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ask him how did he become that way? Or why?
I remember him trying to explain it to me, as like he needed it for work. The jobs he chose, he was like, I'm a tow truck driver, I'm a this, I'm a this, I need it to stay awake, or, you know, there was all these reasons why he tried to like, you know, present it to me as if it wasn't like a problem.
Yeah. And do you love your father?
Yeah.
You love your father?
I still have that same love from when we were a little kid, when I was a little kid. I still like look up to him and have that, I remember that.
Yeah.
But the past, you know, 20 years, the interactions have all been horrible.
And what do you mean?
They've all been negative. They've all
With
been
your
him.
father?
Like I would see him and he would be extremely drugged up.
Oh.
You know, and it'd be hard to talk to him.
He got a lot of issues. He has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Have you ever told him, I love you and I want to be with you, want to get to know you?
Yeah.
You told him that?
Yeah, we've made friends and then fought and then made friends and then fought, and it's this cycle that just keeps happening.
So you said he got under drugs because he needed the energy to drive and all that?
I mean, that was one of the excuses, you know. It was also like he was like, you know, he liked partying when he was younger, and that phase never kind of like left his life. He just was always kind of like habitually disappointing.
Yeah. What is, so how are your brothers doing right now?
My older brother, he's, you know, he hides a lot. He kind of stays in his room. He still lives with my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 40 something.
Beta bear.
Yeah, it's sad. I love Eric. I love my brother, you know, but he does not want to do anything.
He can't.
He can't. He just wants to
can't. He's
hide
not
from
in
the
it.
world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's paralyzed.
You're going to have to help him. I'll tell you how.
I try. I've tried to get him into my jiu-jitsu gym,
Yeah.
and he was coming for a while.
Yeah.
But, you know, he complains that he's so little, and he has all these problems that hurt, and he can't, like, do squats.
You sound just like your mother.
Yeah, it's always
The
something.
emotional state of your mother.
Yeah.
I've tried,
absolutely.
you know.
You become like what you hate, who you hate.
So true.
What is an aggressive atheist? Oh, but how's your other brother?
My younger brother?
Beta brother, right?
My younger brother, yeah.
How is he?
He's coming up on 30.
Oh, how's he?
He got married and moved to Texas. Him and his wife, they got married at a young age.
Oh.
And they're all into feminism.
Oh, yeah. You married his mama.
Yeah.
And so, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Really? How old are you?
47, sir.
Amazing. What you said that you used to be an aggressive atheist.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, I was raised as an atheist, and I would have, you know, I would spend hours and hours listening to Christopher Hitchens and all these really famous atheist guys have debates with Christians.
Right.
And I always wanted the atheist guys to win, kind of because it was like my home team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was like my mom raised me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see God. I don't believe in things I can't see. You know, that type of mentality. And I did that for a long time. I was like that for a very long time.
Amazing.